Hey, everybody, welcome to Comic Book Curation. I am Polydub, and here we are on our regularly scheduled event after our 300 subscriber special. And joining me, as always, Inquisitor 8.1 Quiz. How are you in this Advent season?
I'm all right. And are you just gonna keep stealing the thunder from one of our guests? I mean, that's
What are
not
you talking
cool,
about?
man. You started with "Hey there."
No. Hey there, everybody. Blah, 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 blah. That's not Umbrella Guy. I'm stealing off Commissar Gamza. Trying to.
Okay.
You know, the way he started, you know.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't make a difference. Let's just move on. Jack, you're also here from Bad Comic Reviews. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
I
don't believe it's theft so much as cultural appropriation.
That's worse.
It could be an homage.
That's true. That's true. But I prefer to think of it as cultural appropriation because I'm going to start doing more of it.
I'll tell you what, I'll drop the there from it, and I can still rip off Gamza, but not rip off Tug.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so reset. It'll be like, hey, everybody, welcome to Comic Book Curation. I am Polydub. There, how's that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Or you could make it more accusatory and be like, hey, you there.
Hey, you there.
Oh,
Damn it.
people
I was
a
in
little bit.
Coffee sip. That was good.
Sorry.
Shady has generously provided us with our first subject. He says, explain to me the hottie in the thumbnail. Okay, I will. Let's just bring up said thumbnail. Hold on. Going to bring up the right butted thumbnail, and you'll see what I mean in a minute.
Right butted.
The correctly butted.
The cheeky thumbnail.
So here is today's thumbnail, because, you know, Merry Christmas, everyone, right? Am I right?
That's right.
Right. And this is a Rob Liefeld drawing, in case you couldn't tell.
A Rye Blyfield.
Rob Liefeld. Rob Liefeld has it. This is from one of the Christmas specials that he was the artist on.
Air quotes.
Quotes, full on air quotes. Do you like the real subtle left and right hand action of what she's doing there? Because
yes.
In my opinion, she's holding a dick shaft in one hand and a wad of something else in her right. Cool. Am I reading into that, or is that's what's
no? That's what I got out of it too.
Okay.
She's like, oh God, it made it all the way over to my other hand. What the hell?
Yeah, I mean, seriously, like she couldn't, you know, eat a snowball.
But the thing about this particular piece of, I don't know, let's call it art, why not, that is going on there is that, yeah, okay, for the rest of the month of December in the season of Advent, I'm going to be doing Christmas-themed thumbnails, Christmas hotties. Look forward to the next one next week. I think it's better than this one. I just went with this one because it was easier to make fun of. And what I mean by that is Rob Liefeld is quite famous, as we've talked about here before, having a lack of ability to understand human anatomy and the way that it works, especially female human anatomy. I had to work hard in Photoshop to make this woman look human, because the original looks like this. So you can see her torso is ridiculously thin to the point where, you know, we're forced to wonder where her spine is. Well,
all of her organs are shoved all the way up into her brain.
Well, yeah, and she has, as Chaos Eve called it, white girl butt, but not really. Like, her butt's quite curvy if you look at her bottom of her thighs, but if you look at her back, she's totally got white girl butt. So it's just, Rob, what are you doing, buddy? So if you go back and forth, you can see what I had to do. I had to thicken her waist to the point where it looks like she has organs, and move her butt up in such a way that it doesn't look like her spine is ridiculously long, and adjust the position of her legs. And this was not easy to pull this off, but I managed it, damn it. I think it was worth it. What do you guys think?
Just a couple of eraser strokes, Rob, and you would have had your anatomy right.
What? Excuse me?
I said
it's more than that. You move her butt. There's nothing but an empty background. You got to recreate the background behind her.
Well, yeah, that's the reason why you can see the line.
Shut up! Don't
line
the flaws.
I think you need to go back through his entire catalog of work and correct it all.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh God.
Because you did such a good job.
With a red marker.
You go back and give Cable cheeks, and
Well, no, he's got cheeks.
well, he's got cheekbones. He doesn't have cheeks.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he's got sunken fucking corpse face.
And despite what other people say, you know, that Rob does not like drawing eyeballs, just the whites of people's eyes, she actually has irises here.
Yes,
that's probably a mistake. Don't worry about it.
That's something I should have done, is put actual irises that are, you know, much more noticeable there. So that's what I should do. I should go back and
change your eye color.
Yeah, put irises in all of the digital copies of Liefeld's art, give them spines, thicken their torsos, shrink Captain America's chest.
Well, I brought it up several times. If you want to bring up that image so we can talk about it, but you know what it was? I think that he had two different drawings and he Frankensteined them together, like you kind of did for your thumbnail here.
Mm-hmm.
Is that he had two completed drawings of Captain America. They rejected both of them, and so he said, "Fuck it, I'll just, you know, fuse them both together and hand that in, and they can go fuck themselves." And that is the hilariously bad Captain America image.
Right. I don't know why I don't have a copy of that. We've looked it up so many times, and I don't actually have a copy ready
because it's horrifying. No,
with one of you hasn't looked it up.
I'm doing it right now.
Oh, okay.
Now, with this thumbnail, what you should do is just superimpose Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's eyeballs on there. So she looks really shocked by that snowman.
Okay. Deco would like me to capitalize the rest of the... Okay. Gift is and no. Well, don't ever say that I don't do what the audience wants.
There you go. This is the image that we refer to when we're talking about the horrible Captain America image. See, if you look at just his chest, like right here, like imagine a line right down the star, all the way down the shield. That is in proportion. Okay. For the neck, if his chest were flat right here, his head, neck, and shoulder would be in proportion. So I think that he had the arm and the shield drawn, the arm, shield, and head drawn, and then this chest drawn. But he didn't want to put the head here, which would have made the chest fine. He wanted to keep this and not shift everything over about maybe a foot.
I think you're giving him way too much credit.
Well, like I said, this screams to me like he had two complete drawings.
That's Quiz or me?
That's Quiz.
Oh.
Your robot buddy, live on stream. Where's your professionalism? Chris has gone full T-Pain. Come on, man. Hit us with your hot hook. Give us a preview of what we're going to get on SoundCloud later. Okay. Well, Quiz Robot Mates. We are going to continue on with what we're doing here. I actually no.
My SoundCloud is going to be in the description. It's fire.
It's fire. Come on, man. Let's just make use of auto tune. You know, you really got to hit those notes and lengthen them out. Dude, just drop out rejoin or something. It's fucking awful.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. So, waiting for Quiz to get back. Jack, what have you been up to? Have you been reading any Christmas comics?
Not so much Christmas comics, but I have been reading quite a few comic books recently.
There we go.
I read the Doomsday Clock.
Did you? Yeah, I read the new one too. What'd you think of it?
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm liking Doomsday Clock overall, like a lot. It's. I'm not willing to call it a masterpiece. Got to let time go by, but I'm really digging it.
Well, it'd be nice if it was.
I'm several issues behind.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it was monthly instead of bi-monthly. Like, I don't know what they've got planned, but it looks like they're building to something. I wish they'd get to it.
If I had a criticism so far, it would be that it is a little drawn out. Yeah.
That's my only real complaint. But Martian Manhunter, now that is a steaming pile of garbage. I mean, like, you take a pile of poop, bury it in some trash, add a few homeless people on top, and then put some more poop on top, light it on fire, and put it on your neighbor's porch. And that's what about it equated to. The art was terrible. The story was boring and terrible. And they redid the entire origin of Martian Manhunter. It made him unlikable.
Shady says that the stream crashed for him. That's interesting. Is anybody else having those problems?
I heard you.
No, not at all.
Well, that's a you problem, Quiz.
Oh, because I can control my internet.
Well, I heard you roboting a little too, Polly. I didn't know if that was me or not, so I lowered my bandwidth.
Oh, yeah.
It might be a YouTube thing.
I will
Otherwise,
lower my
hi,
bandwidth as
NSA.
well.
They're on to me.
Shut it down. They know.
Sargon knew.
That son of a bitch. He reported us to the Wall Street Journal, and now they're hacking us.
Did you watch that video link I sent you of your arch nemesis, Polly?
Oh,
who's my arch nemesis?
Yeah, you argued with him. I'm not going to say his name.
Oh God, that's my Jesus. If a man is judged by the status of his enemies, I suck. That's my arch nemesis. I mean, like me and Monkey, you know, we trade blows, we dodge and parry and stuff, and I consider him a worthy opponent. You know, but that guy, God, no. No, I didn't watch the link that you'd send me. Would you DM it to me?
Yeah, I sent it to you on the Twitter machine.
All right, I'll take a look at it later. No, I haven't seen it.
It'll piss you off really bad, and you'll get to see his sweet beard.
Okay.
Does he bring up Polly?
No, but that would have been awesome. I probably would have got a half chub out of that. Well,
well, I mean, that's the thing about that guy is that he's gone. Like he realized he got trolled and cussed hard because, like, you know, the way he looks. Because come on, look at the way he looks. So it's
Jesus.
What?
Jesus there. If there's any proof that God doesn't exist.
I think that somebody like him, be it a charlatan or not, has a place in the world. And it's one of those things that, like, you have friends in life that after a while you realize they're complete morons and you shouldn't spend time with them. It's sort of like that. You follow people on YouTube, and after a while you just kind of outgrow and see what they're doing. And there's a place for people like that. They lead to better things like our channels.
Yeah.
No, I mean, fair enough. There's a reason that fedora tipping YouTube atheists had, you know, that hot moment, right? And it was more than a moment. Like it ran for months and months, right? Where everybody was doing quite well, and then it just sort of petered out.
It wasn't.
And some people talk about that it's because of the content, or it's because of the individuals. I argue no, it's because of the content that they're presenting. It just, you know, come on.
Yeah. Well, I would argue that it wasn't like a flash in the pan sort of thing either. It lasted for a really long time.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely it did.
Amazing Atheist lasted for how long before he started to peter out?
But that's what I'll say about Amazing Atheist is just one example. Like it's not about him, it's about the content, because he still has a fairly loyal subscriber base, because his numbers, I mean, people talk about him like they're gone or something, or his Patreons evaporated. It hasn't. If you look at it, he's still pulling in numbers, not like he used to, but he's fine, man. And don't get me wrong, I think Amazing Atheist is trash, because most of the stuff he talks about is lame. You haven't thought it through. The fedora tipping atheism is lame to begin with. You know, but he's still got an audience for it, clearly. But they're tuning in for him, not the content, in my opinion. That's what explains it.
Yeah.
He's entry level. People come in, start there, and then move on to something else.
Yeah.
And he's constantly turning over people like that, I'd be willing to bet. Same with like Cult of Dusty. He's like the inbred redneck version of Amazing Atheist. But
what I meant about the way the guy looks and his new beard is, it's like, yeah, because of the way he looked, it's he got his balls busted pretty bad. So it's like, okay, I'm going to put a baseball hat on and cover up my balding head, and I'm going to grow a beard to cover up my lack of a chin. You know, it's.
Damn it, Polly, you're giving away my secrets. Stop it.
Well, not all of us can have the chiseled jawline and fulsome, luxurious hair. It's just.
I'm just going to get rich. I don't need to be attractive.
The
Hey.
McAfee approach, huh?
Yeah.
Jack, I got a Christmas present for you.
Oh, yeah? Is it Asian?
No, it's not an Asian, but I really hope you haven't seen this. You probably already have, but because as soon as I read this, I'm like, oh my God, Jack is going to love that. Hold on, let me just present myself here. This is from the Mary Sue.
Oh, no.
And what's
the return policy on this gift?
No, you're going to want to keep this one. Okay. It's just the headline is gold, man. It's pure gold. Nick Fury, he's just like us, meaning he loves cats.
What? Yes, that's what makes him relatable.
No, don't you get it?
He loves.
It's the lady writers from the Mary Sue say he's just like us. He loves cats. They've admitted it. They're all cat ladies.
It's nice. It's nice they can admit it finally. They're so sad over there.
They're crazy. That they're crazy cat ladies.
I love it. Rachel Leishman, Leishman actually wrote an article with that title. I'm like, how can you not realize that everybody makes fun of you for being crazy cat ladies, or you're going to end up as crazy cat ladies and you spend Friday nights at home with your cat? And then you write an article with this title. What were you thinking?
Let me explain how this happened. I can tell you exactly how this happened. Rachel's sitting there, her jelly rolls flopped over in her comfy chair with her hover around, and she's typing on the computer device, and she's like, oh, the new Captain Marvel trailer's dropped. Oh, I feel so empowered. I need to watch it. So she got a fresh gallon bag of Doritos, family size, and started smushing them into her face, and Mr. Fluffers, the kitty cat, waddles over because he's fat too, and then Lord Meowington came over as well, and they joined her as she stuffed her face full of some ho-hos laced in Twinkies and dipped in a Fry Daddy that sits next to the computer.
Okay.
And while they were deep frying, she's watching it, and she sees Sam Jackson kneel down by the kitty cat and start petting him, and she's like, look, Lord Meowington, he loves kitties like I do.
Meowington?
You know, I knew a dude, I kid you not, that actually named his cat General Meow.
Get over here, right? Meow.
Did he did he put up any propaganda of his cat around his apartment?
Well, no, but I got to give him credit. At least he didn't go for Chairman Meow.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
he just kept the military title. He didn't go with the more honorific, once I had gained control of the government, Chairman Meow. Like it was, yeah. That was somehow, like, had it make more sense. But he's much like Farzusmi, our Australian friend. Never said the cat's name anyway. It was just Cat. That's what the cat got called. Like, hey, cat, come here. Shut up, cat. Quit meowing, and so forth.
Fucking cat.
Yeah. But I mean, this was an individual who's normal. They have a cat.
Yeah, we used to have a cat when I lived in Ohio whose name was just Kitty.
Yeah, or hey, you stop peeing on that, or stop it, or damn it, or get the fuck off the table.
You know what? The Christmas gift of this was just Mary Sue, because I know, Jack, you love pointing out that cat ladies be cat ladies. So
Yeah,
I thought you get a kick out of this, but I didn't actually read the article because So let's just see what it says. If it's not his exasperation, if it's not his exasperation with the Avengers that makes Nick Fury so relatable, it's definitely his reaction to Goose, an apparent replacement for Chewie, Captain Marvel's cat in the comics. When the cat, or possibly Flurkin,
what?
Don't overthink it. Just keep going.
Finally made her on-screen appearance. Okay, in the latest Captain Marvel movie trailer, after an understated appearance on the poster, fans squealed in excitement because well, squealed along with Mr. or Lord Meowington, you know. Yeah.
That's right.
Who is a fan of Captain Marvel? Who?
You know who else squeals? Pigs.
I'm deeply upset by all of this because you think Mary Sue would jump onto the obvious thing that they should be saying. Captain Marvel is a black woman, Monica. That's the Captain Marvel I grew up with.
They don't know who Monica Rambeau is. They don't even know who Marvel is. Who are you talking about?
For those of you who don't know, for a good while, Captain Marvel was a black woman named Monica Rambeau. And that's the one I remember reading back in the day when I was going through back issues and stuff like that. And then she's recreated as the current iteration of Captain Marvel is a blonde white woman with blue eyes, and they're all squealing with excitement with their cats. Why have they missed this? I'll tell you why they missed this. Because they don't read fucking comics. They have no idea that character even existed unless one of us told them.
Yeah,
I was going to go with closet racism, but you know, works too.
Yeah, so you're talking about that. Well, what about the Black Wonder Woman, Nubia?
Ooh, she looks cool there, actually.
Yeah. I say she has some pretty damn good storylines too.
I don't know how are they scissoring right there? How does that work?
Just say it.
Actually, I want to hear more about Nubia. That would be interesting.
Oh, all right. I know about Nubia because I've seen a couple of like the old books. I think she was in the 60s when she made her really big debut, but she has a pretty prominent role in the Injustice comics.
No. See, Quiz, you're wrong because there were no black people superheroes until Black Panther.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I don't, it's funny. I don't read any independent.
It was 1973 was her first appearance.
73. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what we should do? Here's my off the top of the head idea. Let's go back and through our memory. When we get off stream, don't worry, chat. We won't pain you with this right now. Let's make a list of all of the awesome characters that are POCs and LGBTQ friendly that none of these jackasses actually know anything about. And it'll be, here's the pantheon from Marvel and DC that you could be bitching about, but you can't because you don't actually give a fuck about comics or film. You give a fuck about ideology. So you're bitching about what's currently known, Princess Weeks, not anything else.
Yeah. So these people don't read comics. They can't. If they knew this, they wouldn't be bitching. And say, me, I am their Wonder Woman. Nubia, my black sister.
That's great. I love that.
Wait a minute. Do you think Princess Weeks is actually the name of Rachel's cat?
Oh my God.
And she's like, I met this chick. Okay. So my buddy was on a blind date one time with this chick, and I got to meet her.
When Jack goes into story time, shit gets colorful. Okay, here we go. Let's
trust me, you're gonna find this funny. Right. So she seems normal at first, and the more we talk, the weirder she gets. And then she tells us that she's got a cat, of course, and she's getting 2 more. And I said, "Oh, what's your cat's name?" And she told us, and I was like, "Oh, why'd you pick that name?" "Oh, no, I didn't pick that name. He told me telepathically." And I was like, I'm out. Anything I say gonna get me in trouble. And ironically, that's not the first woman that I've ever met that has said stuff like that.
Oh my God.
I have subsequently been on my own dates where somebody told me that their cat told them their name. And I'm like, are you Sabrina? I don't understand this.
Yes.
I'm still trying to get over Lord Meowington.
That was a pretty damn good ad lib, dude. Not gonna lie.
Oh, thank you. If it had been a dog, it'd have been Baron von Barks-a-lot. But
have you guys seen the? Oh shit! Who was that sent out that very? Hold on, I'll find it. Talk amongst yourselves.
So I found this on Games Workshop's website. They are putting out stuff for Christmas. And just saying, I want to find me a girl that'll wear these for me. Oh, yeah.
This is from Games Workshop?
Oh, yeah. These are Sisters of Battle leggings. See?
Okay. The women that will actually wear those don't look like that girl.
Well,
no, hold on. Go to the rear picture again. That's the one. Yeah, she got white girl butt.
I'm okay with it.
Well, I just, come on.
I accept her for her body, Polly. Quit being so body negative.
She looks awesome in the second one. Like when she's doing it's like, oh, hey, look at me. I'm a lady.
Come on, a chick that looks like that wearing those leggings, you could do butt stuff with.
Yeah. That's why I want to find this girl.
I see fleur-de-lis everywhere. This is just your inner Frenchman coming out.
Okay, well, how about these then?
So tell her to shave her armpits first.
No, hold on.
Down? How about these Blood Angel ones?
I was just about to say, I saw the red ones. I'm like, are those Blood Angels? See, I'm learning things about Warhammer.
Oh, no. Blood Angel chicks, they're free bleeders.
Whoa.
Okay, well, they're a freak if they're wearing Tyranid legs?
That's just uncomfortable.
Okay, chat, seriously. Are you surprised or totally not surprised that Game Workshop is selling themed leggings for women? You tell me. I'm frankly surprised. And I probably shouldn't have been, considering the kind of, hobby pimps that they are. But
okay, now
I am. I was still caught off guard. I was like, holy shit, they're selling themed leggings at Games Workshop?
I'm weirded out, but what's the largest size they sell those in? Because it's going to start to look like a ham wedged in a knight's armor.
I don't know.
There's not a lot of rotund space marines, is all I'm saying.
Well, that's what
women.
That's what the feminists want you to accept, was rotund female space marines. The largest size it goes up to is 3X large. Oh God.
Whoa.
It's a beefy woman.
Yeah.
Doesn't say how they hold up when on motorized scooters.
No.
There's not a lot. There's a lot of plump ladies that play the Warhammers, from what I've seen of the women factor.
Oh, I found it. Haha. Always organize your meme folders, gentlemen.
Of the people that posted their Facebook pictures of them wearing the leggings, there's a dude.
What?
And a woman. Well, it's not so bad.
That's a dude?
Well, that's a dude.
Oh. What?
But yeah. Why is a dude wearing leggings? I don't know.
Maybe he's in Thailand.
God damn it, quiz. Okay.
That took a minute.
Okay. Remember this one, Jack?
Oh God!
It's the face of sadness.
It is. That is a person that is in pain. And
I meant the cat. Look at that. The help me look on that cat's face.
For those of you who don't know, this is a comic book professional, Tess Fowler, and her picture that she sent on social media, and this was her avatar for a little while. Her and her cat.
Now you look at that face, and all I hear in my head is, "Ha ha! Hey, Cherry!" I can't do a Pee Wee Herman voice, but that's what I'm hearing.
Hey, Cherry!
Yeah,
I remember Jack and I one time we deconstructed this picture where we're like, okay, look at the cat. Realize that this is in her bedroom because she probably lives in a studio apartment in New York, because that's the only thing she can afford, a hyper small studio apartment. She's got the mental health haircut and a one side shaved, right? And
most lobotomy do.
And then we started analyzing the picture that's behind her. It's actually really cool. Like that is a fantastic piece of art. And we were like, that it was over her bed. We were a little blown away because this is a classic cis white girl back here. What are you doing, Tess Fowler?
My theory is that if she does bring a dude home and they're doing it, that dude's looking at the picture above the bed.
Johnny Hellcat brought up the fact that cat has a lazy eye.
That cat doesn't have a lazy eye. He's on the lookout for her with one eye to see what she's doing, and the other eye is looking for an escape route.
See, you see sadness. I see on the cat's face like, she feeds me. That's the look I see.
No. Cats can experience sheer unadulterated terror as well. That cat is living through misery. We cannot see his other paws because they are broken and strapped down to the bed, just like James Caan.
Who was it? Mustafa, when I posted this in Discord, and he said, "Wait a minute, that's a woman," and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
I was like, I knew right away that it was Tess Fowler because it was labeled as such, and I knew what she looked like because I'd seen her in previous pictures. And he was like, no, I think it was Mustafa. He was like, "No, seriously, I did not know that was a woman." I'm like, man, that woof.
Yeah, at first I didn't either because I thought it was Pee Wee Herman.
Like you know what I don't get about it? There's such a thing as complementary lighting.
Yes.
And this is the opposite of that.
Yes.
This is very complimentary lighting. Like
what were you okay?
It's like, Tess, didn't you see this picture yourself? Like you probably don't have bags under your eyes, but because of the lighting, it makes it look like you do, you know?
Yeah, I think it makes her look about 10 years older than she probably is.
Yeah. And it makes her nose look huge. And if you see her in other pictures,
Yeah.
she does not have a big nose. So it's like, well, okay.
It doesn't help that the symmetry is completely off in that picture.
Yeah, and the gray hairs in her mental illness haircut just exacerbates the problem.
Joe Lopez it looks like the villain from Fifth Element.
Oh my god.
What was
shit.
What was his name? He had the greatest name, the character.
Oh shit, I don't remember.
Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg? Wasn't that his name?
Something like that.
Gary Oldman playing that character. Yeah, with the plastic whatever cranium cap that he had over one side. I hear you. Yeah.
I love that movie. It's so silly.
See.
I don't love that movie because it reminds me of America Chavez 3.
What? Why?
Lilu multipass.
Oh God.
Beta.
Right. Yeah, but that was a bad ripoff. I mean, she was 10 years late on a fucking meme, man. She, meaning Gabby Rivera. For those who don't know, the sorority that they all belong to at Sotomayor University that America Chavez goes to, her sorority is called Lilu Multipass Alpha Phi or something like that. Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg. Thank you, Peter. In with the nerdery. I love it.
Wow, I can't believe Gabby Rivera.
Yes, it was. It's. Oh my God, we got 23 viewers. Jesus, I feel nervous now.
I'm scared. Hi, everybody.
Now,
hold on. I gotta hold on. Oh,
yeah, no, it doesn't work that way, Magato. You were already here. We didn't summon you with America Chavez.
I came across this picture and I just want to be like a comic prick about it because, well, I am one. I love this picture so much. This is great. Obviously, Alex Ross, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look at Batman. He's like outside of the party and he's looking in and he's all sad and he's like, my parents died. I can't have fun.
Is he sad or are all these people just in his living room putting up a tree and he's like, son of a bitch, get out of my house.
How did you get in Wayne Manor? Alfred.
Like, I'm just fixated on the Green Arrow and Black Canary down there. That's sweet.
Yeah, it is. I like the Thanagarians over here. You know, they're a couple. They're, you know, what is with the coupling back here? Who is this strange man?
Plastic Man.
It's Plastic Man. His head is stretching around.
Oh, okay. I didn't make the connection. I mean, I saw Plastic Man over here, but I didn't. So is he like getting ready to mount Green Lantern?
Maybe. And there's nothing wrong with that.
This has to be after Hal and oh God, what was her name? Carol Ferris. Yeah, Carol Ferris had broken up.
Well, I think this is probably part of a larger A Christmas Carol featuring Batman as Ebenezer Scrooge. And that's how he got a new Robin.
I don't know, chat. What do you think? What's the correct caption for this if you were to apply word bubbles? Because we can think of a lot of them. Jack already came up with his own. Like, how the hell do these people get in my house? I came up with the one where I can't join in. I'm just too sad. And then there's also the other one.
It's dark and broody.
If you see Superman up here, right? It looks like he's looking down at Bruce, and Bruce is looking up at Clark, and it's like, Bruce, what the fuck, man? Come in. And he's like, no, I told you not to invite that plastic guy.
That's a possibility.
And you got Shazam down here laughing at a racist joke, and
yeah.
Bruce don't want no part of it.
Or does he?
For me, I think the real caption should be, "All I want for Christmas is justice."
Now I'm telling you, this is A Christmas Carol. This is how Batman gets a new Robin named Timmy, who's a little orphan boy whose parents died.
He's not a pederast.
and he has a crutch that he beats criminals with.
No, he's gonna have a cyber leg, and that crutch becomes a staff.
Yeah.
Let me think.
Why is it
forgotten?
What an eclectic mix of people. Where are the rest of the Justice League? Like, I assume Martian Manhunter's invisible, I assume, but
Gregory Hirsch.
Cyborg's dad is still... No, he's dead. What am I talking about?
Yeah. Gregory Hirsch,
so
Batman,
Cyborg?
Silent Night.
What's that?
Gregory Hirsch said Batman, Silent Night.
Nice.
Peter, that's Plastic Man. Just follow his head back from behind Superman, and it goes down to the body. You can see his belt there.
I picture Bruce whimpering and saying, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas."
Whatever. You think Batman celebrates Christmas? Are you kidding me? He didn't get any toys after like being 8 years old.
Okay,
that's true.
The
internet says that Batman's an atheist. That's why he won't go inside. He refuses to submit to this Christian insanity.
Or the other way, he doesn't want no part of no pagan tree lighting ceremony.
Exactly. He knows there's nothing but cold death awaiting us all.
That's right. Somebody has to work on Christmas Day. Batman's
goddamn Batman.
He drew the short straw this year.
Okay, here's a caption. Batman's on his way out to fight criminals, and he stops by when he notices, oh my God, I'm going out to fight crime, and these bastards are here having a good time. You got Shazam laughing at racist jokes. These aren't superheroes. I'm the hero.
Yeah, Batman feeling ungrateful. What else is new?
He's just feeling underappreciated because he does all the hard work as a normal human.
I was gonna say, you're talking about Christmas Batman. What about the Dark Knight Returns? His presence.
Oh, I love that one. This one kills me. I forgot about that, and I've got it saved too, just lost in a folder somewhere.
Does he have a receipt with him?
No, the mutant stole it.
Oh, those damn muties.
Actually, Joe Lopez says he's a Jew that celebrates Hanukkah. Nope. He was raised Catholic.
Although watching Batman play with a dreidel may need to be in the next movie.
I'd go for that. Let's see. Excuse me. What else do we have here?
Peter's got a good one. He's thinking, didn't you guys know that Christmas causes divisiveness, I think you meant to say, and promotes hate toward Muslims?
Well, everybody knows that. That's why it's the winter festival now. It's
Festivus for the rest of us.
Chris Han Kwanzaa.
Chris Hanukkah Kwanzaa.
Yeah, there we go.
Chris Mahana
Kwanzaa. That's a made-up holiday.
Chris
Of course it is.
Kwanzaa. Yeah. And I say, but
diversity requires we accept made-up things as actual.
But Polly, the best Christmas Batman is this one, though. Are you an angel? What are you, dense? You retarded or something? Who the hell do you think I am? I'm the goddamn Batman.
See? Frank Miller, it's genius.
Short answer would be
yeah, sure. That's genius, all right there, Polly.
Well, that kid looks retarded, so to be fair, not an unreasonable assessment. Look at her eyes all close together, the large forehead, not much of a nose.
She's mousy.
Is that what they're called Down syndrome now?
Who wants to hear about the female genre writers creating their own production company? Cool, let's go do that then.
Yeah, let's do that.
From the Mary Sue, our favorite comedy goldmine. Female genre writers are creating their own production company. Hello, new favorite company. Because you're an incredible sexist and you'll buy whatever they have just because they have the right genitals. That's weird. All right. But, let's see what Kate Gardner has to say about this.
I was going to say, no, because these are the people that can give us an America Chavez movie, and I want that to happen.
Why?
You know what I honestly get from this? That there's 3 successful screenwriters that tend to write in the genre of fantasy, science fiction, and so forth. Because I read through the article, and it's, instead of it being noted that they're successful screenwriters based upon their merit, as having like a great list, a great resume of things that they've worked on, and that they're going to go start their individual production company, which lots of actors and other producers will just split off and do production companies so they can do their own thing and they don't have to be hired on contract by other production companies. So it's very entrepreneurial of them what they're doing, and it's like, oh, that's cool, and it's sci-fi fantasy specific, the production company that they're founding, and it's like, oh, okay, good for you. But the Mary Sue and everybody who asks them the question, I would find it a little demeaning, because everybody just asks them, so what's it like to be 3 women founding a production company? And it's like, can we talk about the movies we want to produce? That's the vibe that I got off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get into this. Lindsay Beer, Nicole Perlman, and Geneva Robert Dworet. These women are among the most well-known female genre screenwriters, with titles like Chaos Walking, Captain Marvel, and Guardians of the Galaxy under their belts. Together, they're working towards bringing more female-written stories to the screen with their new production company, Known Universe. More female-written stories, because that's all they care about, right? What were the genitals of the person who wrote this story? You're weirdos, man. Weirdos. We thought it was crazy that there were no genre-specific production companies led entirely by women. Perlman told the Hollywood Reporter. Yeah, actually, go read that Hollywood Reporter article. I did. It was, how many other genre-specific production companies are there? And she describes it. Like, if you read the full interview in the list that's provided at the Hollywood Reporter site. And then they say, well, are there any other entirely women-led ones? Not are there ones that have women on the board, entirely women-led was the question. And then she says, we thought it was a little crazy that there are no genre-specific production companies led entirely by women, was led to that statement. But then that's the statement that gets clipped and then put up by the Mary Sue as if that's what they're championing about their production company. Not that they're capable or competent or anything, but that they're women.
This is women's is more important.
Because think about it. They don't continue to quote her from that Hollywood Reporter article. Instead, they pretend that they're journalists and just lift that one line and then go on to say, she's right. Most production companies aimed mostly at producing sci-fi, fantasy, and other genre films are helmed by men.
Ew.
They're the worst type of men.
Yeah. Women such as Perlman Beer and Robertson Dworet are not given the same opportunities and platforms as their male counterparts. That she didn't say that. You said that. Known Universe looks to challenge and expand the idea of who a genre writer is. And then, to quote Beer, there have often the idea of what a genre writer is, and it's like, yeah, the 3 of us in this small production company can write these things. It doesn't need to be a Marvel or a DC or a Sony or whatever, right? We can do this as our own individual production company, and you can, because lots of other people do. Think about the first statement that she says. Beyond the female empowerment aspect, we are hoping that our model is going to we're going to see a huge development in Hollywood, adds Beer. The 3 writers would often discuss disheartening experience of being hired to write to rewrite long gestating perspective tentpole stuff. Tentpole are huge movies that are holding up a production company, as opposed to the smaller films that they make. As producers, they'll have the power to circumvent the, quote, clusterfuck process, as Robertson Dworet puts it, of too many cooks in the tentpole kitchen. Quote, there are more names on the front of a script, the worse the script is going to be, she says. This sounds like somebody who's really oriented towards the entrepreneurial aspect of it and getting out of being hired contractually to rewrite scripts that already exist, because it turns into, in her words, a clusterfuck, and the script turns out awful. And she starts it by saying, okay, enough about the female empowerment aspect. We are hoping that our model is going to have a huge development in how Hollywood works. But all they care about is the whammons.
Yeah,
Mary Sue.
They say stop with the female empowerment, and then they go on to talk about female empowerment.
Did
they not see how much?
This is kind of my point. Like, they're professionals at what they do. Mary Sue, you are also professionals at what you do, except you're non-producers and they're producers, in the sense that they actually do stuff in the world that you know, they produce an art form, a product, a thing that people are willing to pay for. Mary Sue, the only thing you produce is unintentional comedy, which gets you on streams like ours.
Yes. Okay, there was something that what's her nuts, the bitch playing Captain Marvel, put out today. It was either today or like recently, talking about how she said something along the lines of, like, you know, women have, you know, saying something like women can do things as good as a man. Who knew? I'm like, well, you know, you would think that they can't, given the fact that the feminist rhetoric that you spout every day would seem to suggest otherwise. It's not men that are saying this, Bree. It's you.
Yeah.
She's named after cheese. What do you expect?
I mean,
I honestly get every interview I've ever seen with Brie Larson. I love the way Cynical Lindsay says it. Bitch, I mean, Brie Larson.
Yeah.
Brie Larson just strikes me as an extremely vapid person. And I don't know her personally, of course. Never met her, of course. It's just whenever she talks, it sounds like I'm going to deliver lines that I think are going to work. Like, in terms of, like, my publicist said this might be a good thing to say. She doesn't strike me as a self-possessed person. I just want fame. I just want notice. You know, you scroll through her Instagram, it's selfie after selfie and beautiful location after beautiful location, presenting her as, you know, this world traveler, jet setting starlet, etc., etc.
Yeah.
You could say bitch. It's okay.
Remember that tweet that she sent out that said, like, it was around a promotion of Captain Marvel thing, and she had it wasn't Newsweek. Who was it with? It was some trash publication like Newsweek that's on their way out of the publication world because they suck. She had already done the story and the photo shoot with them and everything. And then to promote it, i.e. promote herself in the movie that she's in, she sends out this tweet, says, "Hey, Newsweek," if that's who it was, "I'm bored. Want to break the internet tomorrow?"
Yeah.
Remember that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
And break the internet, for those who don't know, it's like, you know, Kim Kardashian releases like sexy naked pictures of herself. It breaks the internet because everybody clicks on them to see them, right? The idea is that everyone's running to one place to see one thing, i.e. the internet breaks. It's like, you want to break the internet tomorrow. So everyone's thinking, oh, these are going to be extremely hot pictures of her. No, it's just a regular photo shoot. Like, Brie Larson, do you think anybody cares about you enough that they want to look at just like plain old pictures of you in a regular fashion shoot? And you think that's going to break? I don't know. She just bugs me as a really vapid, empty, hollow person.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm being judgmental, but that's how
No, she's pretty typical celebrity type.
Yeah.
They'll think they're important and special, and they don't understand if somebody doesn't like them or somebody tells them no or disagrees with them. And she's one of those people. She's the discount Elizabeth Shue.
Ouch.
No means no, Bullet Brie.
Discount Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah, she's the dollar store version.
But I mean, Elizabeth Shue's a low rent actress, and she's the discount.
Yeah, but at least she has some talent and she can smile occasionally.
Yeah. Hey, she smirks in the trailer. So.
Yeah, just because somebody shot her full of some drugs and made her face twitch doesn't mean anything. We need your face to do something. It doesn't do that. Okay. Thank you. Goodbye. And then they sprayed something on there that made her face twitch a little bit. Might have even been CGI. I don't know. I don't rule that out.
You know what? I don't mind seeing trailers. I like trailers. I like to see how they're going to cut them. I'm interested in the excitement that they bring. It's like, we've got this 2-hour movie, 2-hour plus movie, and we're going to cut it down to just a few scenes and try and generate some excitement. I like that idea. Got no problem with it in and of itself. What I got a problem with is the Twitterification and social mediaification in and around trailers, where people, jackass non-producers that have no real stories and don't want to leave their fucking laptops and go out and interview people or talk about something or find out something real to talk about. They complain about what other people are saying in terms of their predictions of what's going to be seen in the trailer. Then the trailer comes out and then they complain about what people are saying about the trailer, and they complain about other people's Twitter reactions to it. So you want to talk about, I mean, the lady's name was Beer, I believe, who called it a clusterfuck with script writing. Oh my God. How about social media and the clusterfuck in and around trailers? Like, I like trailers and I want to see them, but I don't want to hear the lead up to them, and I don't want to hear the bullshit that happens afterwards. In short, Twitter is a sewer.
Yes. Well, that's the major bit too. I think that everyone who's talking about a trailer needs to, number one, do their very best endeavor to ensure that they see the trailer without hearing of anything about it beforehand, so that they're going in it with going into the viewing with as little bias as possible. You can hardly say that people do that, but it's make up your own mind before anyone else influences your decision based around what you're reading online. Because, like it or not, some people do have that sort of mentality. They will be affected by what other people are saying, regardless of what they think.
Well, I've seen a lot of this over the years with any creative work. There are people that know they can't create anything, so they bitch about every single aspect of a various item that they should be drawn to. But it's something that they thought they could have done better, so they have to tear it down and shred it into pieces. I miss the old days where you had to go to a theater to watch a trailer when it first came out, because it really did create more of a visceral impact. When you had to sit there and watch it and experience it without knowing what was coming, other than somebody saying, "Oh, it's awesome, you got to see this trailer." But even then, people really didn't do a whole lot of that. Now it's like, oh my God, I'm going to make 5 reaction videos to this.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do
content,
that.
man. And I'm just going to say, like, if we're talking about like YouTube specifically, the daily upload as a requirement to be noticed by the algorithm incentivizes hollow content, in my mind. Unless you've got a team of people helping you write, or you are an incredibly creative person, you're going to end up doling out a bunch of weak sauce by virtue of the need to put something out every day.
You calling my my daily content crap, Polly?
I also offered the other option of you being a highly creative person. Don't take the bad side.
No, we all know that's not true. The link to my channel is in the chat right now. If you'd like to go and subscribe, just in case.
Actually, by all means, put your links in chat if you would like. But also, you can find Jack and Quiz's Twitter handles down in the description, as well as links to both their channels, to Bad Comic Reviews and Inquisitor doing, well, let's see, Warhammer 40K and D&D, and what else do you do? And Not Enough Painting.
I don't do enough painting. That's very true. I'm planning on doing some other stuff. I know this month, as was leaked last episode, is a big thing for Warhammer players called Chapter Approved. It's a big expansion of the rule set, and number one, the very most important thing is that they're putting out beta rule sets for one of the armies that I play. So I'm going to be doing a lot of Warhammer content with that when that comes out. I'm going to try to, film some games so that people are actually seeing the game involved, not just me painting the minis, stuff like that. So
I just saw that Jim Healis said, "Hey, Jim, by the way, am I the only one that would defend Brie?"
The cheese? No, I'd defend that.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
Soft, it's spreadable, melts well.
Infinitely more fuckable than that uptight bitch in the movie. I mean,
Are you the only one that would defend Brie Larson? Well, it depends what you mean by that. I remember you had a very positive reaction to the trailer, and you were excited to see it, wanting to see it at least 3 times in theater, if I remember correctly. And no, I don't think you're the only person that had a strong positive reaction to the trailer. Now, if you're talking about defending Brie Larson particularly, I don't think you're the only one, but I think you would find a lot of people that would challenge you on that, myself being one of them. Not because I think you're wrong a lot of the time, simply because Brie Larson comes across to me, in my opinion, for whatever that's worth, as a very vapid, empty self-promoter. That's my call. Maybe I'm wrong on that, and she's just not presenting herself well, or she's not being presented well. I don't know.
Well,
I will say, oh, go ahead.
Well, I brought up earlier in the stream, Jim, one thing that I know that you mentioned, because I saw it on Blake Northcott's Twitter, and you defended Brie on it, where she said something about women have been kicking ass for so long, we don't need to say it. I'm like, okay, good. Then all feminists need to shut the fuck up. That's where I come down on Brie Larson. I find that when she starts talking about that stuff, she's a massive hypocrite.
Well, and Jim responds, Paula, you're a vapid, empty self-promoter. Yeah, but I tell people that.
We're honest.
That's the difference. I mean, did you think you were on a professional stream here? No, man. We
I will
keep it low down and basement quality.
The new trailer definitely looked better than the previous one.
Sure, yeah.
And it did look like it's got probably a solid plot, reasonably paced action scenes. The scene on the subway looked really cool. I'm going to give it a chance. I'll probably see it in the theater, but I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. I just don't want to be bored, and I don't want to waste money.
I think one of the reasons that the trailer looks so significantly different, among other reasons, is that with the super teaser trailer they had released before, post-production was underway, but principal photography was finished, which is the majority of what you see. And then in the trailer that was released, a hell of a lot more of the visual effects had been completed. So there was a fuck ton more of that element of the film to show. So yeah, it looks like the action scenes are going to be pretty spectacular. I hope they don't turn into a blinding fuckery fest like they do in BVS and Batman v Superman, where it's just the techno monster, comes out, there's lights and going everywhere, and there's lightning bolts exploding off of them and shades of this and that, and you can't even tell what's going on. Like, you feel like you're in a middle of an acid trip in the middle of a discotheque. Fuck, I mean,
I already said I'm going to see it. You don't have to sell it to me. I have it on good authority that this movie is going to be good. Mr. Lord Meowington said that it's going to be a solid film because there's another cat in it, and maybe that cat talks. We don't know.
Hey, actually, Jim said again, it's like, so you want to attribute all feminists to Brie Larson? Did you say that, Quiz? Or anything that could be construed that way?
I said that, you can see right there, I had a follow-up to that. I said, I attribute Brie Larson as a feminist mouthpiece, whether she is or isn't, unless I see other feminists saying, you don't speak for me. I mean, I'll leave my mind, I'll leave my mind open for that for all the other feminists. But if they don't come out and say, you don't speak for me, Brie, then
it's all social media back and forth, and it's
I think they got the Captain Marvel.
I'm being real biased against social media today. It was like just garbage.
Social media is garbage.
Yeah, I don't know. I just read a bunch of empty stuff today, so I'm being a particular prick about it.
I think they did get the costume right, though. It seems to fit really good on Zach, and the lightning bolt looked really cool. So I think Captain Marvel's going to knock it out of the park.
I don't know. I could say no. Jim, don't take it harsh. I caught the fucking same hell when I said that Leonardo DiCaprio is a great actor and I really like him on a stream. And people are like, he sucks. What the fuck you talking about? Were you kidding me? I was like, I don't know. Once he was an adult, no longer looked like a little kid, which he did well into his 20s. I think the guy had to turn 30 before he looked not 12. But I was a huge fan of a whole number of films he did in a row. The Aviator and, The Departed, of course, and Inception. I loved him in all those fucking films, and people are like, all he can do is yell act, and I'm like, okay, fine, dig his stuff. Not everyone's going to agree on actors, Jim. It's all good.
His head looks like a squash of some sort.
Who?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
A squash, like the food?
Yeah, like maybe like a one of those miniature pumpkins. He had a really big head for a long time, physically, like a physically large cranium. Look at him in like Basketball Diaries. His head
God,
does
you're
not match
talking
his
about it when he
body.
still had, it looked like he had progeria, like he was.
Yeah,
it's,
that's what I'm saying. Like he grew into his head.
yes, he did.
Like
Yeah.
I feel bad for his poor mother. She had to give birth to that.
You know what's funny is I was just watching 10 days 2 weeks ago, The Quick and the Dead, the kind of send up Western, which is a great film, even though it's got a lot of cheese to it. I still like it a lot. And he's in that, of course. And his character is supposed to be somebody who's like exceptionally young in the way he comes across, to the point where his nickname is even the Kid. And yeah, you're damn right, he's got a head that's too big for his body. And to amplify how much of a kid he is, they give him like a big 10-gallon hat to wear to make him look like he's really small in his little Western getup, and it just becomes hilarious. Like,
I bet that was a cartoonishly large hat because his head was so big. A normal 10-gallon just fit fine. They're like, this is weird. The kid's like 15. What do we do? Just get one out of the silly prop department.
You know what? To randomly break up the subject of what we're talking right now.
You being mean to celebrities? Okay.
And now for something completely different.
Yes.
It's fine. Celebrities deserve it.
That's what I say, but you know.
Oops.
The only ones I do feel sorry for right now are the people that lived in Malibu who lost their houses in the fire. I do feel kind of bad for them because I've seen what that does to people, and it's really harsh. Yeah. So I'm gonna cut them some slack. So
I don't get me wrong. My contempt for these sorts of people is not like me wishing ill on them. My contempt is purely for the fact that they think that they have a place to tell me what to do.
Exactly.
No, you cannot tell me what to do. Just because you can, recite your lines and, strut around on a soundstage like a monkey does not make you an authority on how I should live my life.
Hey, come on now. Monkeys are way cuter. They're fuzzy.
Anyways, one of the things that I was doing today after I got back home was reading through some comics that were Christmas comics, and a lot of people are talking about, is Die Hard a Christmas movie and so forth.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. And what qualifies as something being a Christmas movie? Here's an unlikely Christmas comic that is one, even though it doesn't seem like one. A little blast from the past going to the 80s.
Oh yeah, I had that.
Yeah, I still have my hard copy of this. This is my digital edition of it, though. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the day when Eastman and Laird were still drawing and writing it, and it hadn't gone. Oh, the cartoon didn't exist at this time, I don't think.
No, because he's still wearing the red headband.
Yeah, they did one in a one-issue micro series, which I thought was hilarious, and changed the name to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle because it's just Leonardo. And they had one for each of the four turtles, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Donatello, where they had their own one in a one-issue series. It was a story telling it of, it's just them and what they're up to. Anyway, this, believe it or not, is a Christmas tale. It starts off fantastically, where it's just the other turtles are up here preparing for a Christmas holiday, and Michelangelo, I believe, is the guy with the knife, spots Leo out on the rooftop, and they attack. The foot attacks, and the rest of it is there are no words spoken, no dialogue whatsoever between Leonardo and all of the other ninja that he are fighting. The only thing you see is them doing the holiday thing. So, well, Leonardo's in a fight for his life, unbeknownst to him. His brothers are back at home with what's her name? Help me out here. April O'Neil, not the porn star, getting ready for Christmas. And it keeps happening in this fascinating way where the panels at the bottom tell the Christmas story, where everything is the fight that Leonardo is going through. And this was during the black and white era when it really took off back in the mid to late 80s. Would that be right, Jack?
Yeah, this would have been 87, 88, somewhere in there.
Yeah, and it's so if you're doing black and white, you got to go. Inks are your friend. You have to heavily ink. And I am a big fan of high contrasting inks.
Oh my
But they
God,
do
just
this
look
great.
at that too. Look at that composition.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
so
nobody really inked like this back then. It was pretty unheard of to see this level of shading and inking.
Yeah, and the combination of pullouts and hashes and just every trick in the bag to make texture happen, you know.
Yeah,
But
nice.
all of it is left
Simple, yeah.
off in the Christmas elements, if you'll notice, to give it a stark comparison.
Well, the Christmas elements do have the hatching, but it's not in stark relief like the rest of it is.
Yeah. And then as you go through it, you see the same thing continue to happen, where it's just this great story with no words, and it's just pure action. And we brought up Liefeld before, and Liefeld is infamous for his inability to tell an action story through sequential art, like meaning from panel to panel to panel. It's tough to follow what's going on. I forget who said it, but it was a genius quote when it comes to comic books. The action and what's happening and what makes a comic book come alive happens in the space in between the panels. Meaning, you make it come alive. There are a series of still images, and it's your imagination in your mind that makes it come alive. So what happens in between here and here, for example, is that, there's Leo. He's walking down. He hears something. That's what he hears. And he turns around and, oh my God, it was a whole bunch of ninja hiding underneath the snow, and he just walked into a trap. That's sequential storytelling without the need for words. And it's just beautifully done. These guys, the issues came out so irregularly back in the day. You would see, and the reason I know that is because you'll see like the month of like January on one, and the month tag on the next one will be like July, because it took them that long to finish the next comic.
Yeah, they had jobs and shit. So
yeah. But again, I would highly recommend checking this out. You can buy it on Comixology. You can buy all 4 of the standalone series. Here's Raphael trimming the tree with 2 butterfly swords. Well, Leo's in the middle of this.
Trimming the tree.
Yeah. And there he is. Ah, perfect. I should have been a barber. But it doesn't, I won't spoil it, but it doesn't end up very well for Leo. And this story falls off into another story arc in the Turtles main comic series of what happens after Leo suffers what he does at the end of this comic. It's great.
It runs into issue 11.
Yeah. So it's outstanding and fun, and it is a Christmas story. It's just that one of the turtles, the leader of the group, Leo, finds himself in something with no help from his brothers. Well, they don't know what's happening to him. It's great comic, nice throwback, fun read. So not a pitch, just, hey, it's Christmas, so I want to talk about Christmas comics.
His present was from the Foot Clan.
Yeah.
Monsters.
Oh, no.
Although, you know what we got for Christmas early this year as a group? Mark Ruffalo got fired.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for reminding me of the title. It's We Are Still Celebrating, or let's say basking in the fact that Mark Ruffalo will no longer be playing Bruce Banner. It's awesome news. It's if the man was destitute and homeless and living in the streets, I wouldn't be laughing, but he's going to be fine.
Well,
so therefore it's hilarious.
I'm not saying I would directly laugh at him, but I'm not saying I'd give him money or not step over his dying body.
Okay.
A little harsh, but
if I think that I would have, I think I'm enough of a dick that if I met Mark Ruffalo and he stuck his hand out to shake, I'd shake his. You were a terrible Bruce Banner, except for that one scene in the Avengers. Other than that, awful, man. Awful.
No. You know what I'd say to him? As I was shaking his hand, I'd be like, Ron Perlman pees on his hands. Then walk away and let him wonder what that was all about for the rest of his life.
You mean just confuse the hell out of him for no reason?
Yeah. Did that dude pee on his hands like Ron Perlman does? I don't know. What was that about?
So we covered that. We covered the thing. I wanted to... Oh, yeah, that'll lead into the pitch, so we'll leave that alone. I have a quick one off here to reference something that's been bugging me and lots of the internet for like a week. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer voice actor denounces Huffington Post criticisms, as well she should.
Her nose isn't red. Why was she cast for this part?
Are you doing this just because Monkey's not here?
No. See, Monkey
We don't
has
know
this
he's not
weird
here.
idea that Hermie is gay. The elf that wanted to be a dentist.
He is gay.
And whatever. And he went, well, you and Monkey and everybody else who was there went full HuffPo with it. Because it's like, oh, there's gay coding in it. And it's like, you didn't have the balls to say that, but that's clearly what you were getting at because you talked about his coiffed hair. And
anytime a dude wants to get in my mouth, I'm pretty sure I'm going to say he's gay.
That was an interesting way to reveal that you have rotten meth teeth.
Just saying, I don't trust male dentists.
Oh, I get it. So you're fine with dentistry as long as it's a woman. Is that it?
Yep.
Yeah. A woman could put her fingers in my mouth all day.
Yeah, I'll even return the favor.
So she was a voice actor, one of the elves, and voice actress Corinne Connolly vociferously defended the classic Rankin and Bass television movie Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer after it came under attack from the Huffington Post and the Ranting Monkey and Jack. The Huffington Post described the film as, quote, seriously problematic. What's your problem with Christmas cheer, Jack?
I heard about the whole
no ideas.
Only by, like, you know, by proxy here. Why is it problematic?
Because, why is it problematic? Because Rudolph's father is verbally abusive to Rudolph. It displays ableism because Rudolph has a shiny nose and nobody wants to accept him accordingly. So it's like basically like a physical deformity that everybody just
fucked. Get fucked.
Well, thank you. And you know, they fell short of declaring the obvious and insulting gay coding of Hermie, and that's why I suggested to Monkey in DMs that he write to the Huffington Post and explain in detail how they didn't HuffPo well as he did.
Right? Well, see, I don't have a problem with it as a Christmas special. I think it's fine. I'm glad Hermie and Cornelius found each other, and they can have their special relationship of dentist and bear together.
See, this is the thing, and you even went into saying the abominable snowman or Yeti or whatever he was a furry that was misunderstood. Man, you're reading all kinds of crazy. You're going full HuffPo on this. It's not good.
I have a lot of free time. I'm doing it as a joke. They're doing it because they're serious and they're crazy.
I love that this voice actor pointed out the thing that I did. It's like, okay, of course Santa is mean to Rudolph. Of course Rudolph's own father is mad at him for not trying to fit in the reindeer games thing and so on. And Hermie is not accepted because he doesn't want to build toys. He wants to be a dentist. Of course, everyone's unaccepting of him. That's what makes them want to leave in the first place. It's called a plot device. If everybody was friendly to them in Santa's village, they would have no reason to leave and there would have been no story. And this is what happens when SJWs come up with plot ideas. Nothing happens.
No, you're wrong, Polly. You don't need a story idea to push ideology. Story construct is colonialist, clearly. But if you want to convey something, it should be something that makes everyone feel warm and welcome and included, and they just dance around it, a symbol of some sort, maybe a blank pole, because trees might be considered phallic and insensitive, and you're probably murdering that tree. But you dance around that, and you sing happy songs about love and acceptance, and everything is unrealistically beautiful. It's just like any religious text, you know, from the fundamentalists.
And what's interesting about it is that the ongoing debate that I've had, and I thought it was for fun. Apparently, Monkey's being deadly serious about it, so I'm gonna let it go with him. But my position on it is like, no, the whole point is that when Rudolph and Hermie leave, they leave because they feel like misfits and misunderstood. And they are misfits and they are misunderstood, and everyone's harsh to them, and that's why they left Santa's village. But when they come back, they've gone through this adventure and they have grown up. They've gone through a story arc, and that's the whole point. Their bullying is reconciled by the time they get back. They're not willing to put up with it anymore. They've both become leaders, and and it doesn't matter to them if people bust their balls.
And that's why they went on a murderous rampage when they got back, using the new friends. Cornelius.
I haven't seen all the Rankin and Bass specials, but that sounds like one I really want to see. I know there were sequels. God,
Rudolph Part 2, The Revenge.
Cool.
Yeah, the Yeti goes around tearing up the enemies of Rudolph and Yukon Cornelius. You know, he gets into it with Santa, and Hermie upper decks their toilet.
Yeah, Oh Lord, yeah. Kumbaya, is it? Who's that aimed at? And it's have any of them seen the ending, for fuck's sake? Peter says, yeah, I know. Santa realizes he's wrong. I mean, that's the whole point, is that he promises that I'm going to go get the toys from the Island of Misfit Toys. Then he realizes
which he doesn't do.
He motherfucker. I'm not getting into this again. Look.
No, I thought the Misfit Toys were the coolest toys. Like, when I was a kid, I was like, man, I'd have any of those. Those are cool toys. You got the scary, Jack in the Box guy, and you got the pink polka dot elephant, which I thought was just a drunk elephant when I was a kid.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of subtle undertones there that could be interpreted in different ways. Yeah, it could be misfits, but let's face it, it's okay to be a gay dentist. No one's going to judge you except at the North Pole, because Santa's a bigot.
Cynical Lindsay says, I just love how they dismiss criticisms of She-Ra because, quote, LOL, dumbass is shitting on a kid's show. But they make no bones about calling some for fucking kids problematic. Yeah. That's a fair point. If you haven't, Peter and I were actually talking about it, the He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special. Dudes, if you haven't seen that, you gotta fucking check it out. It's if you like the original
He-Man.
Yeah, just all
I
of this
will ruin your Christmas, man.
And this, okay, you went a little Edward G. Robinson with it there, but that's okay.
See, you're gonna fill your
I'll fill your Castle Grayskull full of lead, see?
No, but I mean, come on. Skeletor gets stuck with a couple of human kids from Earth, and they're all like friendly and nice, and he's got to like actually get along with them. It's this Skeletor in this horrible position.
There's a link to the special in the chat right now.
Nice, and it's just steeped in nostalgia and unintentional comedy. You can watch it for fun, or watch it to laugh at it or with it. That's what makes it great. I watch it nearly every year just for the laughs. I love Orko I love the kids trying to explain to Orko what Christmas is. They start to go, well, a long time ago in a place called Judea or whatever, and then it cuts away and it cuts back and he's like, and that's why there's Christmas.
See, I like that one because
Orko brings Christianity to fucking Eternia.
Exactly. Yeah. Orko's going to become this like evangelizer, going around telling everybody that they're sinners. That's great.
He's going to go around giving out pamphlets and holding a big sign, that says you're all going to burn in hell. And he's going to be a fundamentalist, in my opinion. But
God hates beastmen.
He does. Those abominations. But no, that was a fun story. Now they're all political messaging, and I don't know. They're so poorly written now.
And what's a funny thing is you have the idea of like Cynical Lindsay was talking about, it's something for kids and so on. Hey, fuck that. As an adult, and like I don't have any kids, but I do have nieces and nephews, and yeah, you end up watching shit that's for kids, and that's just the way that it is because that's what they're watching. You have no choice but to overhear it. So it ends up default having an adult audience, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And you're going to see it multiple times too.
Well, not only that, I think that anything good shouldn't matter if it's a kid's show, period. Do you see people sitting there saying the exact same thing about Animaniacs? Batman the Animated Series?
Yeah.
Give them time.
Yeah, give it time.
Well, I'm just saying, there's not a single person on the world that will, like, on the face of the planet, that will say that Batman the Animated Series was, quote, for kids.
What's
my mom.
Well, I loved it as a kid and I love it as an adult, so I really don't know what to offer there. But
I was in college when it came out, so.
But did you watch it?
Yeah, of course it did.
Well, there you go. So it's for kids and adults. There it is.
No, I mean I agree with you, Quiz, but the problem is that there's a misconception that kids' movies can't be for everyone.
Yeah.
You go back and look at a lot of really good classic kids' movies like The Goonies. You can watch that as an adult and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think my dad took me to see that. So he wanted to see it, or I wouldn't have gotten to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, and same with like Star Wars, you could arguably say those are kind of kids' movies. Mostly the holiday special.
Yeah. Well, that one had B. Arthur, so it's automatically awesome.
And Tim Conway. Let's not forget Tim Conway.
But Joe Lopez here makes a really damn good point. Made for kids is a bunk point. Kids can't buy stuff if it ain't free. It's adults that buy that stuff. And that's very true. Adults should not only be cognizant of what their kids are getting into, they should be a part of it. And if they approve, then they should be just as interested as the kids.
You want parents to parent? You monster. Isn't that the government's job?
Jesus. I'm terrible.
We need Monster Squad was better. I agree with that. We need to redistribute the wealth so that these kids have a base income, because that's clearly something they need. I'm going to write to Senator Ocasio-Cortez and demand that kids get equal treatment under the law. Yeah, they should have a base income.
I hope
toddlers need the right to vote.
Yep.
I went down to campus a couple of days ago just to pick some stuff up, and I overheard two people having an argument over whether or not Santa was a communist. It was legit funny as fuck, because these are political science nerds, right? So it was like, Santa's a communist because he thinks all kids should get all things equally. And it's like, no. Santa's not a communist because it's individual charity, not sponsored by the government. He's doing it of his own volition. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and on top of that, he has a list of naughty and nice, so not every kid gets a present.
Oh, good call. Good call. He's making distinctions. Yeah.
So he'll send Black Peter after him.
Well, no, actually, he could be a Chinese communist, and what the Chinese government is doing right now with its social credit plan.
Did he learn it from the Chinese, or did the Chinese learn it from Santa?
But I mean, well, it would certainly speed up Santa's job. It's like anybody who doesn't have a social credit score of at least 5 don't get no present.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just saying that Black Peter went around punishing the bad kids. Santa went around rewarding the good ones. So there is a trade-off there. Everybody wins. Santa liked giving things. Black Peter liked hurting people. So marriage made in heaven.
I was watching one of the Sopranos Christmas episodes that I really like. Save Us All from Satan's Power is the name of the episode. And well, Polly Walnut's the character. I don't know if anybody ever watched The Sopranos. I was a big fan of the series. He's like, did you know, he just kind of says out of nowhere, that Santa back in the day wasn't a good guy? He would give presents to the good kids, but he would throw the bad ones a beating. He goes, I think we need to get back to that.
Yeah.
Throw the bad kids a beating.
Well, that was really somebody else's job. He had henchmen.
Yeah.
I mean, you had your regionally, you had Black Peter, you had the Krampus.
Oh no, wait a minute. He was talking about elves originally. That they were there to help out Santa. Yeah, that was Polly Walnut's line. The elves were there to throw the bad kids a beating.
Yeah, I mean, elves are dicks. Did you ever read any of the old tales about them? Oh man, you don't want to piss off your house elf. They'll fuck your shit up.
Your house elf?
Yeah. Did you ever read the story about the cobbler or the shoemaker that needed to make his shoes? Yeah, there's old stories.
Oh yeah, and it was the elf that was actually making them at night, kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Well, that was a house elf.
Okay.
See, there's an old theory out of, I think it's Germany or somewhere up by the Nordic regions, somewhere out there, where each house has an elf, and they will do little things to help you, or things to hurt you if you screw with their stuff. Like if you bother them by calling attention to them, they will screw with your stuff and hide your things, hide your keys, that sort of thing.
That explains so much of what goes wrong in my home.
Right? You pissed off your house elf. They don't like that. You gotta put your furniture back the way they like it.
See, oh yeah, there's another one. Somebody just brings up Gremlins as a Christmas movie. I'm surprised that people aren't arguing that that's not a Christmas movie, because, you know, it just takes place at Christmas time and people aren't, you know.
It kind of is a Christmas movie in a way, because he's naughty and doesn't follow the rules and gets punished by the gremlins.
That's true. It's true. I just like the little rubber puppets. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, and they're funny.
Well, in that regard, then Gremlins is more of a Christmas movie than fucking Die Hard is.
No, Die Hard has gift giving. They exchange bullets throughout the entire film.
God.
The one guy gives him a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. It's got a lot of themes about being naughty and nice. Thank you, Cynical Lindsay. It's nice to have some support here.
Don't encourage him, Lindsay.
Whatever. I'm surprised people don't just mute me when I'm on these little rants. I just stream of consciousness say stuff. And then people are like, huh, you're weird. I'm like, okay. Well, nobody stopped me.
There's one thing that I wanted to rant about a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
So Spider-Man Far From Home, the sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming. Okay. It has a remarkably similar cast. I wasn't aware because I haven't been following this. I didn't even know till today that was the name of the film, Spider-Man Far From Home. They've already finished filming and they're in post-production, and good for them. And I was looking at the list of who's starring in it, and it's Tom Holland, of course, Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Michael Keaton's back in it, Jon Favreau, Zendaya, and we'll get back to that in a second. Marissa Tomei, Jake Gyllenhaal, Corby Smulders, and Samuel L. Jackson. And I had to look, Kobe Smulders. And that name sounded really familiar, and I thought that might have been Peter Parker's fat friend or something.
Oh, that's How I Met Your Mother chick.
That's Agent
Maria Hill.
I didn't. That's why her name was familiar. So it's like, oh shit. So Sam Jackson's in it, as well as Agent Hill, Kobe Smulders. She looks, just putting it out there, she looks fantastic in that in the Shield onesie. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
You know, and she's hardcore in Captain America Winter Soldier. Like, she takes on the side of Steve Rogers and goes hardcore. I love her role in that. It was great.
Yeah.
And she also carried an FNX Tactical, which is a huge gun and a badass move for a lady of her diminutive stature. So good on you, lady. Let's see. What bugged me about this is that let's just take a look for a second here at a couple of quick pictures. I can close the Rob Liefeld weirdness.
And it never really goes away.
Everyone's gonna see it in the thumbnail forever and ever. Okay, so here we are. This is Spider-Man, 3 members of the Spider-Man Homecoming cast, right? We got Zendaya over here. And you got Peter Parker's fat friend. And then we have the incomparable, the inimitable, the lovely Laura Harrier, who plays Liz, Peter Parker's love interest in the film. This is what kills me. They're not bringing Laura Harrier back, but they are bringing Zendaya over here back. Now, you tell me, chat, who would you rather see come back? The fake-ass MJ over here? Or would you rather see Laura Harrier over here playing Liz? Come on.
Wait, that was supposed to be MJ?
Well, okay. You haven't seen the film?
No.
God, both you and Jack haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming.
I'm not a Spider-Man fan, dude.
It's got nothing to do with Spider-Man. It's just a good film.
When I saw Zendaya was in it, I was like, nah, I'm pass.
Well, okay, let's talk about Zendaya for a second. I mean, okay, I'm going to trash the lady. I'm not saying she's ugly, but it's just like, she's a Disney kid. She had an album out. She's one of these people that's just like, and her name is Zendaya Coleman. But it's like, no, I want to be known as Zendaya. I'm like,
saying it wrong. It's Zendaya.
Exactly. It sounds like an overpriced perfume. Like, enhance your life with Zendaya. It's the mystery of.
Consult your doctor before using Zendaya.
Thank you. It sounds like a stop smoking aid or an OCD medication. But,
may cause crotch burning.
And maybe it's to help with the vertigo that happens when you view people wearing a suit like this. Can you imagine watching her walk in front of you? It would be like, whoa, the world is getting... I need to take my medication, my Zendaya, at least 20 milligrams.
Her new nickname is Zendaya the Zebra.
So was she supposed to be MJ? It's a great question. Well, her name is like Marie Juanita or whatever. So she's MJ. Like, she goes the whole film being. I totally forget what her name is and now what her character's name is in the film. Yeah, but like at the end of the film, in the last few minutes, it's like, are you going to stick around and be part of our little science club here? And she's like, yeah. When they say her name, she goes, call me MJ. and everybody was like, "Oh my god, that's supposed to be Mary Jane," you know, and everyone's like, "No, we just wanted like it's like it was a dumb Disney decision. It's like we're going to include that name, and why would you name a character who's not Mary Jane MJ and so conspicuously so in the last few minutes of the film? It makes no sense.
Testing the waters.
So it bugs me because they put this person in here who's like a social media darling, who's again a shameless self-promoter. And I know I'm beating balls on social media today, but my God, it pisses me off. Like I said, she's a Disney kid. She had an album. They're gonna push her into something and force her down your throat until she is successful in something. And here she is in not one but now 2 Spider-Man films. And I mean, come on, we got the goddess Laura.
He said it. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Well, I'm doing it for you because
okay.
it's multiple Spider-Men, hence Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yes. Now, see what bugs me about this is we're talking about Laura Harrier here. Look at this woman. She's stunning. She's beautiful. Why would you not? I'm going to admit I got a little crush on Laura Harrier. Okay, I do.
Polly's got not a little crush.
I think Laura Harrier's stunning. And when we go back to the same picture here, oh no. Let's bring back Zendaya. Why? This is a stupid move. Okay, I'm done ranting.
Well, Zendaya.
Prolonged use of Zendaya may result in chronic diarrhea.
Yes, Joe Lopez, Polly and his Nubian fetish.
Hey, it's not just Polly.
Okay, Polly and Quiz and their Nubian fetish. It's weird because we all know Asians are the hottest people.
No.
See, now that's a fetish. I think probably the most beautiful woman on the planet is Rebecca Hall, and she's certainly not a Nubian lady. She's as English gets. So, I mean, this is not a fetish. You're the one with a fetish, Jack. I just like lovely ladies.
I don't have a fetish. No. I have a fun time.
Here we go. Cracked. Zendaya may cause heart attack, anal leakage, depression, and thoughts of suicide.
You, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Joe agrees. I'm damn right.
Jack's getting a lot of support, moral support from chat today.
You.
I love it.
I'm always glad that chat appreciates my opinions.
Don't validate him. It just encourages him.
Okay,
I don't need validation for that.
Joe Lopez says, I would take 20 milligrams of that. Again, I am not saying that Zendaya is not a beautiful lady. I'm just saying
take Zendaya for erectile dysfunction.
I'm just saying this, if anything, this will fix your erectile dysfunction. This very well might cause it. I'm just saying.
Well, like, is it the fact that her face looks really weirdly round?
Yeah, she's got a very round head there.
Yeah.
No. This guy has a round head. Jesus Christ.
Well, no, that dude looks like Oddjob reincarnated. I'm not talking about him. He's just some chubby Asian. You know he's American because they don't make him like that overseas because there's no food.
Do I need to remake my point? Yes, I do. I mean, come on.
I don't know. I forgot what your point was. I was just thinking
this woman is bafflingly enchanting.
Yeah, Jim is saying that that's a shitty picture of her. I don't know. Maybe that's fair. Maybe give Zendaya a better shake by finding a more flattering picture.
Give Zendaya a better shake. I'm gonna not make jokes about that.
I'll do that after the stream.
Zendaya, Jim, Zendaya may very well look great in other pictures, but the best picture of Zendaya could not compare to Laura Harrier in the morning with streaked makeup and mussy hair. Like, that's what I'm getting at.
I have to agree with him there, Jim, because, yeah, no.
I have a dozen pictures of Zendaya that look hot. Well, we know where Jim's bias lay.
Well,
not that I have an entire folder of Laura Harrier pictures.
No, not at all.
No.
I don't care about either one of these girls, quite honestly. But my point is Zendaya's an inferior actress.
That too.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I'm concerned about, because she's got that, like, the Disney brand where it's good for, like, young people, like kids that don't know any better and haven't seen real movies. But if you want to have good actors on your film, she's not high on the list. she's more the diversity hire. And I hate to say that, but she's one of those people that will take a role even though it's clearly a pandering role.
Well, I don't know. Was it? Like, I mean, I think the thing that's most annoying about the character that she plays, Michelle, what have her, MJ in the film, is that she's the little social justice warrior of the group. She's the one that has to point out, no, I don't want to go up in the Washington Monument because it was built by slaves, which is factually incorrect. But that's fine.
Facts don't matter.
Well,
and Zendaya is a huge social justice warrior, so that's probably why she wanted the part.
Lindsay wanted to see some pictures of this other chick I was talking about, which is Rebecca Hall.
Oh God!
What?
Nothing.
Enough of you. You don't think Rebecca Hall's hot?
She's okay.
Oh my
She'd be
God.
hotter if she was Asian.
Well, see, therein lay the problem with you, right? Like, no, there's Rebecca Hall. I mean, look at her. She's classy and beautiful, and look at those lips and the eyes and the hair, and oh my God. Rebecca Hall is just a stunning, stunning creature.
If she was working the streets of Pattaya, I'd think she was a lot hotter, but here we are.
Wow.
Was that out loud? My bad. I thought I muted myself on that one.
Holy shit, dude. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Rebecca Hall. She's a gorgeous, gorgeous woman. And a hell of an actress, too. With one exception. See, this will show you how unbiased I am. Rebecca Hall's English, and like a lot of English actors, they are under the impression that they can do an American accent better than they actually can. And there are some that can pull it off spectacularly. Rebecca Hall, you're a beautiful lady and you're an exceptional actress, and she's a trained classical actress. She did Shakespeare in the whole nine, but she cannot, I hear the English pop out every now and then in a film that she's in. She's been in a number of comic book films as well. She was in Iron Man 3. She played the creator of the Extremis virus and so forth.
Oh yeah, and we don't have Monkey here to mute Polydub this time. Monkey, you're wrong. Nigga, does that feel better there, Polly? Iron Man 2 is not a better movie than Iron Man 3.
Yes, it is.
Monkey.
Hold on, who said that?
Monkey did.
Monkey thinks Iron Man 2 is better than Iron Man 3?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to ask him about that because that's just.
Don't you remember that? Don't you remember that, Polly? He muted you over that on your Christmas stream last year.
Is that what it was over?
Yeah.
I was there for that one.
Wow, I totally didn't remember that. That's what it was over. But like, I mean, I am open to persuasion, man. I want to, I was on the Lords of the Night
movie.
Well, I was on the Lords of the Night stream making the case that Batman v Superman is a better film than Dark Knight Rises, and I think I made my case as best I could. I wasn't thinking I was going to convince anybody, but at least here's my reasons. I want to hear Monkey's reasons for that, because that's a weird claim, man. Iron Man 2 was trash.
Dude, now,
Della Hayes also said that.
The Mandarin was done completely wrong. It was stupid, and Gwyneth Paltrow can't act her way out of a wet paper bag. The movie was too long, and it was kind of boring.
It was a decent follow-up to Avengers. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it was a decent movie. It just wasn't the best of the trilogy, and I did enjoy the second one better.
Yeah, no.
Sorry. Cynical Lindsay asks, what others films was she in? Well, I mean, she was in Iron Man 3. She was in The Town, which is an outstanding Ben Affleck starring in and directed film. It's like his love letter to Heat from 1995 with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. It's a heist film, but based in Boston. And Rebecca Hall excellently plays his love interest in that film, but she's far from a damsel in distress. It's great. It's a great film. Ira Barrett hates that film, and I find that so weird. I find that so odd. Anyway, and back to the point. And English actors are her weakness. If you're going British, Rachel Riley is a much better pick, in my opinion, says Red Chaos Tree. Rachel Riley, the porn actress? She's not English. No, that's Riley Reid. Never mind.
Yeah, don't get those two mixed up. That won't go well in social events, I assure you.
Oops. I felt
so you've seen Riley Reid's new movie? Dude, we're at a cocktail party. Great in it? I mean, she really showed off her talent.
I was gonna say a cocktail party would be would be ideal, wouldn't it? This is
That's how you get uninvited
read.
cocktail parties. Trust me, I am an expert at getting uninvited from cocktail parties.
This is Rachel Riley.
Yeah, Rachel Riley. Yeah.
What is? I don't recognize her from anything.
Mm.
Huh.
Looks like the lady that cut my hair last time. Was it Supercuts?
Yeah, it was a hell of a mix-up. Red Chaos. She says, "Yeah, it was, but that's what makes it interesting. We keep it live here. Fuck it, we're gonna do it live."
What about that Jodie Whittaker from? She's playing the new Doctor Who. What do you guys think of her? Or do you guys not watch Doctor Who?
No, I'm not a hooey.
They're called Whovians. A hooey. What the hell? They live in Whoville?
Yes. Fahu Forest. No, I stopped watching Doctor Who after the Titanic 2 hour-long special. Martha was my favorite companion. David Tennant was my favorite Doctor.
Why did you say that name?
What?
Martha.
I have not gone back after that. In fact, actually, the only other supplemental Doctor Who thing that I own is a collection of short stories. The primary story written by Dan Abnett, and it was all about Martha when she was on Earth while the Doctor was aged, and the Master was using the Cybermen to take over the world.
Did you say Cybermen?
Yes, Cybermen. Cybermen. Yes, that was the when I stopped watching Doctor Who.
Okay.
So.
Well, they've got a female doctor now.
I know all about it.
Is horrible.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's social justice-y all day long.
You know what my favorite episode of Doctor Who is?
The Brain of Morbius.
Blink.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. I like David Tennant.
My favorite one.
He was really good, but I'm always going to be a Tom Baker fan. He was the Doctor.
Being that this is a comic book stream and around things that are related to it, I don't want to say stop talking about Doctor Who, but stop talking about Doctor Who.
Well, I picked up some comics out of the dollar bin. You know what I got? 4 issues of Doctor Who Classic. From IDW.
Nice.
Yep.
And by nice, I mean at least you made some space in the dollar bin for other trash.
Let's say there were Doctor Who comics. Just saying.
Yeah, Marvel did some, and of course Doctor Who magazine released some, and then IDW's had the license. So I think Boom's got it now. They're all over the place. You can't get rid of them.
You know, I felt real bad about this morning there on the stream when it was like my 16-year-old son left your show, and I'm like, oh my god, no. It's
not like we get tangents about porn stars.
Because I was about to start talking about. Have you seen April O'Neil, the porn actress in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles porn? Like,
yes, I have. Now shut up with that.
Wait, whose 16-year-old kid watched our show?
Cynical Lindsay.
Oh. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay's son.
Was it? I think it was Cynical Lindsay. Yeah. I don't know. I was so tired this morning. I only had like 2 hours sleep, and then I slept part of the afternoon, and then went out for a long time. So, like, for anybody listening to the disjointed thoughts that I'm having, you now know why. I'm sleeping 2 hours at a stretch at inconsistent periods. Yeah. I should go back and listen to this stream and listen to what I was ranting about.
Joe Lopez, Polly, the corrupter of children.
Whoa, man. Watch out. YouTube has their censorious commissars afoot.
Yeah, don't summon internet Voldemort.
Just make sure that you just say for the Emperor, and then you'll be fine.
I feel sad and pathetic that I understand that reference. Oh, wow. All right. It's about that time, gentlemen. We're at the 90-minute mark, and I think we've been killing our channel growth by having streams that run 2.5 hours. So why don't we get over to comic book pitches?
Yeah.
And actually, I'm going to kind of spoil. I'm going to go first since I always force you guys to go first, and I've only gone first once before. Specifically also because I have a story that is going to spoil my pitch, but also relates to it.
Is it about a man named Brady?
What?
There's a story about a man named Brady.
About the Brady Bunch. Okay, what's that got to do with anything?
You said
He said it's a story. He just went to a weird place with it.
I thought I was the one who was tired and saying weird shit, man. That's
I do this normally. What are you talking about? I'm the Segway King.
Anywho, related back to the story we were talking about before with what brought me on to the Spider-Man Far From Home story to begin with is over on Bounding Into Comics. It's a great website you guys should check out if you don't already. The new photos show off Spider-Man's Noir suit for Spider-Man Far From Home. That there's some production photos, and I was curious what you guys and chat thought about that. What do you think?
It actually looks kind of cool.
Yeah, it looks all right.
It's and you know I'm gonna guess, even though I hate that people do this. I think this is his Shield outfit, and the reason why I think so is because both Samuel L. Jackson and Agent Hale are both in it. And I think I see a little shield symbol right up in here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to bring up that little button there.
Yeah,
like
something, and it looks sort of like tactical-esque, if you will. Something tells me that this is he's going to be employed or contracted or tapped by Shield to do something, and this is going to be the suit that he's going to wear. Gritty.
No, see, I'm telling you right now, that's his Antifa outfit. They're really going real hardcore in this SJW stuff.
But
this will go in there and punch Trump in the face and say, "Orange man, bad."
Yeah, exactly. And some girl next to him would get clocked in the face like Moldy Locks.
And this leads, of course, directly into my pitch for this week.
Spider-Man Noir.
Spider-Man Noir, Eyes Without a Face. If you don't read or do not know of Marvel Noir, I think it's a fantastic setting. It's Depression era 1930s stuff, very noir-esque, intended as like dark, gritty reimaginings, if you will, of well-known characters, Spider-Man in this case. This is the second... What?
Della Hayes wrote Spider Antifa.
Nice. That's good. I love this cover, number one, in a big way, because it's like Spider-Man done as a pulp noir, the Shadow-esque character, and it's like, here, money, take it, give me the comic. This is I want to read this. This is actually the second time that Spider-Man Noir, the characters come up. The first time was just in Spider-Man Noir. This is the second 4-issue series, Spider-Man Noir, Eyes Without a Face. It is so worth your reading. It's available as a collected edition. It's also available as its individual 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it is also available in digital format from wherever quality comics are sold. The art in it is fantastic. They just do, if that was a sexy comic lady, I might be able to use that for a future thumbnail. Yeah, on the Christmas theme. But it's not. So anyway, moving on. I love the art in it so much. You do have the same story. I don't want to spoil too much because I do want you to read it. You have Peter Parker, who is just a young man at this time, and he's the assistant to an actual photographer. The crime lord of the city is Norman Osborn, who's the crime king, and Spider-Man is bit by not a radioactive spider, but a venomous altered spider. So he does get his spider powers, but of course he doesn't put on a spider suit. He goes in the black clad, much more street level outfit. And that's the thing that I love about it. He doesn't take on supervillains. He takes on sort of 30s-esque gangland criminals. It's much more alley and crime lord based. So therefore is grittier, not grittier in the form of its violence, but grittier just because the stories are much more gangster oriented. It's a fantastic series. Anybody who's even slightly into noir, and it's like, oh, come on. Spider-Man Noir with a fedora and a Tommy gun. Are you fucking kidding me? Love it. That was my wallpaper for a while because I just thought it was so cool. It was a comic. Like, I'm a big fan of Spider-Man, and this reimagining of him into a genre I love, noir, was just like, yeah, marriage made in heaven, man. Loved it. So yeah, highly recommend the whole Noir series, but especially Spider-Man Eyes Without a Face is a fantastic 4-parter of Peter Parker as Spider-Man trying to take on the crime lord of New York in the form of Osborn. Great stuff. And that's my pitch.
Sweet.
So I don't have that one. I don't think I've got the collected, but I'm not sure if it has both 4-issue miniseries. So
cool. I like that I pitched something that Quiz is actually interested in grabbing. I don't think that's happened before.
Well, no, I already have it. I already have a Spider-Man Noir.
But you don't have Eyes Without a Face?
I'm not sure if that's in it or not. Like how we talked about how the newest publications of Gotham by Gaslight actually has the follow-up Gotham by Gaslight story in it.
Right, which I've got, but I procured a copy, but I still haven't read it. I got to get around to that. But I did read Holy Terror, and that was fucking awesome. Great pitch.
Yeah, Holy Terror is great.
Yeah, that was a fantastic pitch. I loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, so who wants to go next?
You pitched the Noir series to me long before we started doing comic book curation, and I went and bought them.
Yeah, in case you guys didn't know, I think we've said it before. That's where the idea of the live streams came from. It's like, let's just take our conversations that are happening offline, online, or take them live rather. And hopefully someone will want to listen to us yammer. God knows why. All right, Jack, you want to go next or Quiz to you? Let's get rolling here. Okay, Jack, you're next. What do you got for us,
okay.
buddy?
I am actually going to pitch a comic that came out today. Shazam, issue 1.
Nice.
This is written by Jeff Johns with art by Dale Eaglesham, something like that. It's a fun little story. They're bringing back Shazam, obviously. Not the Wizard, but Captain Marvel. The real Captain Marvel. See, look, emotion.
I agree.
And not only are they bringing back Captain Marvel, they brought back the Marvel family.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so everybody on the cover here is actually an aspect of Captain Marvel. They all have the same power of Shazam. Huh. Even this girl, who they made black. So they worked in a little bit for everyone. We got the Asian kid. It's Captain Planet. But it was really well done. It's Jeff Johns. I thought it was a lot of fun. The characters were all pretty hilarious, actually. And there's some really cute moments in there. It's a good teen book. And honestly, I had a blast reading it. And the art is phenomenal. It's real solid writing. And with the movie coming out soon, this was a great time to launch this book and bring back Captain Marvel for a new generation. And I'm really looking forward to how it plays out. And I'm really hoping it has strong sales, because I'm a big fan of Jeff Johns' work and Captain Marvel in general. And I'd really like to see this book take off. So that's my pitch. I'm not going to tell you much about what happens in it. It's a pretty straightforward linear story, but they're bringing back magic to the Earth, which means a little bit of chaos and some more action adventure for Captain Marvel to get into.
Hell yeah. Captain Marvel's great. I really look forward to the movie, and yeah, that looks pretty good.
I am too. The movie looks like it's going to be a blast. Yeah. And it's about time DC did more kid stuff, because, let's face it, a lot of their heroes are very kid-friendly. Yeah, Superman, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, we all grew up with them. Everybody knows who they are. Mm-hmm. And Captain Marvel really lends himself to that because he is a teenager, and all the other Marvel family are teenagers and kids too. Mm-hmm. So it's really, except for the fat old guy who's not in this one yet. But they really do kind of lend themselves well to younger readers, and I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, I was saying what I thought of that Shazam comic there, but I forgot to unmute myself. So yeah, that looks great. But we will go over to Quiz now on our highly professional stream and see what he's got for us.
All right. Mine is another entry in chapter approved here for this month. It's written by Dan Abnett and Ian Edgington. Layouts by Daniel Lapham. Art by Daniel Lapham and art by Kevin Hopgood. Colored by Nick Bell. Lettered by Marshall Dillon. Edited by Joe Abraham and Ian Brill. By Boom Entertainment, it is Exterminatus. Now, what's cool about this this series itself is that it centers around this man right here. His name is Inquisitor Delius Alastor from the Ordo Malleus. The Ordo Malleus are the demon hunters of the Inquisition. And the story starts already in progress with him going up against a Chaos Lord, namely a Chaos Lord sorcerer of the Thousand Sons Legion. And his entire retinue is already dead. Inquisitors, for the most part, have a small warband that they work with to prosecute their cases. And Alastor, figures out a way to defeat this Chaos Lord and make it, back to his ship and recuperate. And the rest of the story tells of him finding this planet, and it's been shrouded by this sort of psychic null. No astropaths can make communications out of it. No psychers can see down onto the planet. It was liberated by the Black Templars, but then it was discovered that there were 2 Chaos Warhound Titans buried in the sand underneath this planet. And the Chaos Legions were trying to exhume these war machines and bring them to bear against the Imperium. So it has Alastor trying to figure out exactly how they were hiding these machines. And it gets into political intrigue within the higher ups of the Imperium. Highly recommend it. If you like sort of sword and sorcery mixed with science fiction, mixed with all sorts of political intrigue and a dose of ultra violence. It's Warhammer 40K Exterminatus.
Nice. And who publishes that? Dark Horse?
Boom.
Oh, Boom. Right. Okay. Yeah, you did say that. All right. If anyone's going looking for it. And I asked because people had suggested before, most recently Chaos Eve, that we start including in the video description the pitches that we have done, especially on previous videos. So if you wanted to what the hell was it that they pitched, you can go back and find them. And Quiz went through the trouble of scrubbing all of our previous videos and sending me the information on what we had all pitched and their publishers, if you wanted to hunt them down. And then I added it to all the videos, and I have just done so. So that should be updating in not too long. So cool. All of our pitches will be down there now for those of you who want to see them. And also on that note, for those listening in the future, as I always like to say about this time, feel free to comment below. I read all the comments and respond to most of them anyway. So by all means, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you'd like to see, directions you'd like the conversations to go. Yeah, that probably don't want to hear that. Less Polly, more Jack is probably what's going to end up happening. But anyway, do remember to like and subscribe. Share if you are so inclined. Hit that like button. Yes, it absolutely does help, because God knows the algorithm ain't helping us. Do you guys have any final thoughts before we sign off?
You heard Polly. He wants more comments about how you want to hear more of me.
Well, that's going to happen either way, whether we request it or not. I mean, you're the one with the fan club.
I'm the one that rambles the most and talks stream of consciousness. So here we are. We'll work on it, Polly.
Yeah.
Quiz, any final thoughts from you?
I'll say, just learn from Jack, man. Open your mouth with absolutely nothing to say.
Yeah. Don't think about it. Just start talking. It's great.
Yeah.
It's very liberating. Thank you,
All
Joe.
right.
Thank you, Cracked.
On that note, that is all. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks, chat.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.